Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Resilience Movement podcast. So today is actually the start of a really big journey, and I want to take my listeners on this journey with me. It's a rocky ride, let me tell you. I had started writing a book a few years ago, and this book just never came out. Like, when I say never came out, didn't come out of me. I had the chapters all lined up. I had started writing. I had put information in there. I dedicated the book to my children and my grandchildren. I had done a lot of the background work in this book, but the content wouldn't come out and it wouldn't flow. And, as you, my listeners, may have heard, last year I had a really big journey and walked across the Camino, which is an 860-kilometre walk across Spain, really so I could find myself again. I call it coming home to myself, but also not wanting to have the same things happening in my life that had happened. And when I say that, not everything was bad, everything was a lesson. It was a journey, and I'm very grateful for the journey that I've had. And what's happened this year, and this is one of the blessings of COVID, and I know there's people out there that can't find blessings in COVID, but I can. I've found this has been a really useful year for me, where I've been able to really slow down and do a lot of the projects that I was very passionate about but didn't find the time to do. It's not that I didn't have the time, because we always have the time for what's important to us. Having said that, this year my book has really started to flow, and more so I've connected with a publisher. I have set myself a deadline of the 30th of January, which is really, really scary, but I've planned that out. I've chunked out how many words a day I need to write. So I need to be consistent in that and meet those deadlines. So what I wanted to do was share some of the journey and just a few little bits and pieces out of my book, which I'm going to share in different podcasts, because I'll talk a lot about some of the chapters and the lessons in there. And the purpose of my book is that we need to become more resilient, and we need to be able to find strategies that do that, so that we're not debilitated when we have challenges in our life. And I know a lot of the time, and this is based on my experience with students over 15 years running a training organisation. This is based on my experience working with young people who are coming out of high school, going into an environment. This is my experience as a mother. This is my experience in life. So I wanted to be able to share that, but not only share some of my story, which is really confronting and vulnerable. Like, sharing my story has brought up so much stuff. So I'm finding myself having to do the work. And when I say that, I've done a lot of work on myself. I've healed a lot of pain and trauma. I have, worked through what I'm responsible for and how I participated in things. And it's just bringing up a lot of stuff. So I'm having to do lots and lots of meditation, and also giving myself permission to feel whatever it is that I'm feeling, and also working through what must have been going on for someone else who was party to whatever it was that I'm talking about, or reliving, because writing it is like reliving it. So it's certainly been an interesting journey, and some of the things that are happening is not what I expected to happen. So anyway, I wanted to take the time this morning just to share some of a chapter, and this chapter is called Taking Responsibility. And keep in mind, this is a draft, so this is still very much a work in progress. It's not anywhere near finished, but because I've got 36,000 words to write, and I've written about 11 and a half, nearly 12,000 words. So progress is progress, I say. So in this chapter, it's talking about taking 100% responsibility. So, and I start off by saying, get ready for some confronting stuff here. I mean, you confronting yourself and really getting this concept as it's a life changer. Taking 100% responsibility means exactly that. And when you understand what this means, you will be so empowered and excited. That's after you pick yourself up off the floor as you've been knocked over with the reality of this concept. Well, I know I had to pick myself up off the floor and dust myself off and realize this was an opportunity to change my future. My world has never been the same, and my language changed. And today it still continues to change for the better. How I talk to myself, how I talk to others. So just think about this. If we blame others for what's happening or is happening to us, we give our power away and we have no ability to take control and change our future because we've placed it in the hands of others. This may challenge you and you may feel like you want to put this book down. You may even find yourself feeling a little angry, and this is a great place to start. If you find that you are angry with me right now, as I'm telling you to take responsibility, remember I'm not saying that everything that has happened to you is your fault, especially if really traumatic stuff happened as a child. This is not your fault. What I'm saying is take responsibility for you today, how you feel, what you do, what you say, and how you behave. If I was to say to myself now, you made me angry, then I am saying that my anger is your responsibility, not mine. It's okay to be angry. It's what you do with that anger that is your responsibility and only yours. If you act out of anger, then blame someone else for making you angry. You are not taking responsibility for you, period. There is no other way to look at this. You want to take responsibility for your life, the good, the bad, the ugly. We have to own it and take 100% responsibility. Removing blame is the key to taking responsibility. Every decision we make is our choice today, no one else's. We may feel influenced and we may feel pressure, but at the end of the day, we make a choice and must take responsibility no matter the outcome. I would ask you that we don't confuse this with a child making a choice, as they have a parent to guide them. And when a parent is guiding them, that is different. What I'm saying is, let's look at today. Am I taking responsibility for my choices today, my life today, how I behave, how I treat people, how I want to be treated? So that's part of a chapter that has been in my heart for a long time. And I hope that little snippet gives you an idea of where this book is going. And I hope that you're excited. And if you want to know more about when the book is coming out, how you can get a copy, then send me a message through Facebook at The Resilience Movement. And the book is called Resilience Beyond Contemplation, because we're all resilient beyond what we can contemplate is possible for each and every one of us. So till next time, I'm sure I will share a little bit more of another chapter with you. Thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate you listening. Take care.